everyone, my name is Yanky. I'd like to thank the Roland family for having us. Everything we do here from this moment going forward should be an aliyah from Miriam's neshama. See, I never knew Miriam, but I knew Miriam. And what I mean by that is I never met Miriam, but when I woke up in the hospital when I was 16 years old for the first time from drugs and alcohol, I knew what Miriam went through. When I used to go to bed every single night hoping not to wake up in the morning because I could not get clean and the pain was so miserable, I knew Miriam, even though I never knew Miriam. And, you know, we could go on for 2 days straight about war stories and pain and destruction, but that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about a solution that works. And not just, you know, from the drug addict aspect, but people who have children or loved ones. You know, you might not know each other personally, but if you get to talking, you'll know that you know each other. You all share similar experiences. And, you know, there's a lot of confusion and misunderstanding regarding drug and alcohol addiction, the problem, the solution. You know, I was confused myself. I was confused why I relapsed. You know, I wanted to get clean. I really did. You know, it was the most important thing to me for years. Since 16, I've been trying to get clean. I tried everything on earth to get clean, and nothing worked. The only thing that changed was I got more unhappy and deeper into drug and alcohol addiction. And, you know, there's a lot of things that, you know, Rabbi Burns and Elon talked about that I want to talk about, but in a very short time, you know. But it got to a point, you know, being around, you know, this group of guys, you know, this is just a small, you know, part of the group. And these guys were talking like, and it hit me, I was like, it's very confused. They're all saying the same exact thing, how they got better, the precise same thing. They all follow the same exact direction. And, you know, I remember looking at them once and I was baffled. I was like, how are they not suffering anymore? Because I've been clean before. But even when I was clean, I was unhappy. I felt like I still experienced panic attacks. I was still depressed. I still had anxiety. I was still angry at God, my parents, the community. But I saw these people, they're stable. They're not suffering anymore. I've never seen that before. And I've been all over the world, and I'm not joking when I said I've been in the recovery community for a while. And I've never seen people really get out of it, like just be normal, not think about drugs and alcohol. In that moment, I knew that if I do exactly what they did, precisely what they did, I'll experience it. I didn't know how, I didn't know why, but I knew it. Because I knew they didn't do it to themselves. It was the first time I had Emunah. This is all looking back now. And, you know, I had to be broken. I saw that addiction has me. It was a crushing blow. I knew that I could try everything I could to get clean. I could try every method. It's not going to work. The time and place is going to come where I will relapse. I'm just a ticking time bomb. That was the beginning of recovery. You see, there was a shift that happened to me. You see, I was always angry at God my entire life. I blamed Him for everything. But the second I saw that I'm gonna die, all my anger on Hashem went away. I wasn't angry. And I asked myself the most important question I've ever asked myself: is God real? Now, my whole life when I asked myself that question, I asked it in a dishonest way, you see, because I didn't want to be religious, because I thought that would make me happy. So if I stay in doubt if God is real, I could do whatever I want without having any guilt or shame. But this time I looked for the answer. It was the most important thing, and it got to a point where I couldn't take it anymore. And it was the first time I was overwhelmed with conviction of Hashem, similar to what the rabbi was saying. And I remember the words that came to mind. 2 words: help me. It was the first time I dived into Hashem, knowing that He is there and that He is listening to me the same way I know you're listening to me, and vice versa. It was a direct connection. I was aware I had a neshama. You see, I never experienced that. And there's a lot of other people that never got to experience that. For instance, Miriam. I have a lot of friends who never got to experience that. And ever since that experience, everything changed. Like, I've never had a panic attack since then. I used to wake up in panic attacks every single morning. So scared that if I roll over in bed or if I open my mouth, I'm gonna die. That's how bad the panic attack was. I've been to hospitals from panic attacks. I could never get out of it. Anger, even before drugs and alcohol. And you know, this pain, this emptiness, all these problems, right? I was very obsessed, by the way, with this experience that I had, like, you know, direct experience to Hashem. And I remember I was talking to Elon. I don't know where he went. So there he is. I remember talking to Elon. I was telling him, like, I don't know. I wish I could relive this experience I had. See, I wasn't able to put it into words. I didn't know why. I was confused. And he's like, why? What's so special about this experience? And for a few days, I was thinking about it. Like, I don't know, but there was just something about it. Like, I had all the typhus in the world, but there was something about this that was deeper. It was more special. It was real. and then it hit me. That is what I was missing my entire life. My neshama was connected for the first time. I was complete. The answer I had, why am I always unhappy? I knew it for the first time. And I knew why every single one of my friends were unhappy. I knew their problem. The fundamental, the core problem, deeper than the anxiety, the depression, the core level, what is the problem? Where's the pain coming from? See, I never met Miriam, but I know the pain she went through. I know the exact problem. Every single one of these guys in the group and others, we all know the problem. And that's when I decided, you know what, similar to what Elon said, I got to get better. I have to make myself about this. Make a Kiddush Hashem to show other people that no, it's not a theory, it's not a philosophy, oh, recovery, la, 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 blah, blah, blah. Because there's a lot of people who talk about recovery and they just don't have evidence to prove that there's a solution. But for the first time, I got introduced to a group of people who I saw change, a complete character change. That's why I got to get better. I have to do tshuva so we can make a Kiddush Hashem. And, you know, I want to go back to the beginning. You know, we're talking about, like, you know, the pain, the destruction, how, you know, we might not know each other, but we know each other. You see, just talking about the problem relating on the fact of all the pain and agony, and, like, I'll give you an example. So I remember my mom telling me once, she said, for years, every single night, I used to wake up every hour and look outside the window to see if a cop car pulled up yet. So now, I'm sure a lot of people in here who, you know, have loved ones could relate to that. But just talking about the problem and relating on that is not enough to hold us together. That's not gonna. Even though it is something, but what united us, what bonded us, what tied us together, I'm talking about myself, the group, is going out and carrying the message, doing what we're doing right now, trying to help other people, get other people to experience the same thing. And that's why we're here, because there's other people in this room right now who either have loved ones, their children, cousins, neighbors, whatever the case may be, or know people who need this process. So if we come together, that's the only thing that will tie us together, is going out and carrying the message that Hashem is the answer, that His derech, that there's a process that's clear-cut, that has evidence to it. I am evidence, He's evidence, too, He's evidence, and we can go on and on. That every single one of us will get better, guaranteed. I know it as a fact. If you follow this process the way it's done in this program, the right way, guaranteed to have this results. That is what will unite us together. That is what will bond us together. To get out of all the depression, the anxiety, the anger. I was talking to, you know, to Ruth about this. Like, I don't remember, like, who I was when I walked in. Like, I don't think about drugs and alcohol more. I'm fully independent. I'm self-supporting. I have a job. Like I learned in the kollel. I wear a yarmulke. I walked into this program with a shaved head, piercings that are skull. Wouldn't say Hashem's name. Couldn't stop relaxing. I don't recognize that person. The way I deal with problems, the way I operate, everything. I don't recognize it anymore. And that's a miracle. And I know that can happen to every single person who takes this process the right way. And with everything we do together, should be an aliyah for Miriam's neshama.